The Prince and the Pauper, chapter 13, the disappearance of the prince. We are going to discuss chapter 13 today. Now we know the prince is with Miles Hendon. Hendon has unanimously become the prince's protector, caretaker, and even to be his brother. We also know that the prince and Hendon are now close, intimate friends. There is a great bond between them. For the prince, Hendon is not only a friend, but also his royal guardian and servant. In this chapter, there is some new event. New event is the disappearance. The prince suddenly disappears from Hendon's lodge when Hendon is away from it to buy some clothes for the prince. Some young boy takes the prince away from this room. It is supposed and it is thought that the boy is some helper or supporter of John Canty. John Canty is suspected to be the kidnapper of this prince. Okay. Go to chapter 13, the disappearance of the prince. A heavy drowsiness presently fell upon two comrades. Comrades means brothers. Drowsiness, sleepiness. Now both the prince and Hendon are sleepy. They want to have a rest, tired. The king said, remove these rags. Now king orders. The king means the prince. The prince orders. Now we know that Hendon is the prince's servant. Remove these rags. Change my clothes. Change my clothes. Meaning his clothing, rags. Now he does not call his clothes dress clothes because they are not proper dresses. Therefore, he calls them rags. Rags means torn, old clothes. Hendon disapparelled the boy. Disapparelled. Disapparelled means remove the clothes. Change the clothes. Disapparelled the boy without dissent or remark. Dissent means any dislike or any comment. Remark means comment. Tucked him up in bed, put him in bed. Tuck means put someone into bed. Then glanced about the room, looked here and there about the room, saying to himself, ruefully. Ruefully means somewhat angrily, ruefully. Right? He had taken my bed again. Right. He has taken my, that means has taken my bed again as before. Mary, my goodness, what shall I do? Now Hendon has no place to sleep because in this room there is only one bed and now the prince has taken it. Therefore, Hendon is baffled, confused. Where to sleep? The little king observed his perplexity. The king, it means the prince, observed me, noticed his perplexity, problem. Perplexity means perplexity, problem. Learn these words, new words, and dissipated it. Dissipated means solved it, gave solution to it with the word, one word. He said, sleepily, thou will sleep athwart. Athwart means across. You can sleep across the door and guard it. Now, this is Princess solution. What is the solution? Hendon has to sleep across the door on the floor in order to guard it, to give protection to the prince. Now, Hendon has no option. He has to obey this order. In a moment more, he was out of his troubles in a deep slumber. Finally, the prince goes into deep slumber. Slumber means sleep. Slumber. Sleep. Dear heart, now Hendon thinks this way. My dear, he should have been born a king. This boy should have been a king. Actually, he's a real king, but Hendon does not believe it. Muttered Hendon, spoke to Hendon admiringly. Hendon does not dissent or disagree or hate the prince's words or gets angry. Hendon admires the prince's princely quality, kingly quality, majestic qualities. He plays the part to a marvel, greatly. To a marvel means greatly. Now, Hendon admires Princess role of king's role, royal character. He loves it now. Then he stretched himself. Now, as ordered, Hendon slipped. Stretch means slipped across the door on the floor, saying contentedly, somewhat happily, without any anger or dissent, he says, I have lodged verse for 7 years. I have lived badly. Verse means badly for 7 years. Actually, we know Hendon comes from prison, a foreign prison. He has been there for 7 years in the prison. Finally escapes from it and returns home. It would be ill gratitude, disrespect. It is a disrespect to him. He means God. It is a disrespect to God about find fault with this. If I find any fault with this boy, it is some type of disrespect to God's humanity. God has taught us to be humane, to love other person, and if I do not love this boy, it is something disrespectful to God's teaching. He dropped asleep as the dawn appeared. Finally, Hendon fell into deep sleep as the dawn appeared towards the morning. Towards the morning, he slept. Toward noon, by noon, he rose, got up, awakened, removed his unconscious ward. Unconscious ward means the sleeping prince. He removed the sleeping prince's bed covering, section at a time, part at a time, took his measure and measured the prince's body with a string, with a piece of rope. Now, Hendon measures or takes the measurements of the prince's clothing to buy some new clothes for him. The king awoke. The king got up just as he had completed his work. When Hendon had finished his work, the king awoke, got up, complained of cold. He commented, he dissented. He expects. He expressed his unhappiness about the cold and asked what he was doing. The prince asked what he was doing. Then Hendon says, "It is done. It is finished." Go to next page. It is finished, page 88. It is finished, my liege, said Hendon. I have a bit of business outside. I have some business outside, but will presently return. I will come soon. Sleep you again. You can sleep again. Thou means you. You can sleep again. Thou needs it. You need rest, sleep. There. Let me cover thy head. Let me protect your head also. Thou will be warm the sooner. You will be warm again. Now you can see Hendon's concern for this prince. Actually, Hendon loves this boy now. He does not want the boy to suffer from coldness. He sacrifices his comfort uh, for the comfort of this little boy. Hendon is a human character, right? The king was back in dreamland. Dreamland means in sleep before his speech was ended. Miles slipped softly out and slipped softly in again. Miles Hendon softly went out and softly came again. In the course of 30 or 40 minutes, within 30 or 40 minutes, Hendon returns. He does not take much time because he's much concerned about, thoughtful about the prince's protection. Therefore, without spending much time, taking much time, Hendon returns home with a complete second-hand suit of boys' clothing, a second-hand suit. Now, used clothes. Second-hand suit means used clothes. Now, Hendon brings some used clothes for the prince because prince's clothing is in Tom's clothing. They are too bad. They are rags. Therefore, Hendon brings some new clothes. Cheap material, not very expensive, cheap clothing, showing signs of wear, but very old. Signs of wear mean old. Signs of wear means old, going old, but tidy, but not torn, neat, suited to the season of the year, best for the season of the year, cold season. Right. He seated himself and began to overall. Overall means think, evaluate his purchase, his goods. These clothing speak into himself. He says, a longer purse would have got a better sword. A longer purse. What is a longer purse? If I had much money, longer purse, I could have got a good one. Better sword means good clothing, but when one has not the long purse, one must be content, one must be satisfied with what a short one may do with a short clothing. Okay. Now, let's write down the comment up to that place. Okay. Write down the disappearance of the prince. Chapter 13. Chapter 13. Further depicts Chapter 13 further depicts further depicts the conflict between Hendon and the prince. Hendon and the prince. Hendon and the prince. Hendon and the prince. Both of them are now attracted to each other. Are now attracted to each other in a friendly and humane way. In a friendly and humane way. Humane. Hendon has become the princess servant, royal servant, and the royal servant and the protector. Royal servant and the protector. He begins to admire. He begins to admire the princess royal character. Royal character. And is also much worried and concerned about is also much worried and concerned about the princess situation. Full stop. Hendon understands. Hendon understands that the prince needs rest and sleep, rest and sleep, and also new clothes, and also new clothes to protect him from the bitter cold, to protect him from the bitter cold. Bitter cold. Hendon sleeps on the floor. Hendon sleeps on the floor. Hendon sleeps on the floor. Giving the bed to the prince. Giving the bed to the prince. He also spends the little money. He also spends the little money he has on some new clothes. On some new clothes for the prince. on some new clothes for the prince. Next paragraph. The other important event of this chapter is the prince's disappearance from the Hendon's lodge. When from the Hendon's lodge, when Hendon is away from it. When Hendon is away from it. Prince's disappearance is a kind of kidnap. Is a kind of kidnap. Is a kind of kidnap committed by John Canty and one of his friends. When Hendon is away from his lodge, when Hendon is away from his lodge, the prince is deceitfully, D-E-C-E-I-T, F-U-L-L-Y, D-E-C-E-I-T, deceitfully taken away by John Canty's helper. John Canty's helper. Hendon is greatly affected. Hendon is greatly affected by this. Hendon is greatly affected by this disappearance. Hendon is greatly affected by this disappearance. He feels lonely. Lonely. He feels lonely. Hopeless. He feels lonely, hopeless, and miserable. When he finds the prince is no more with him. Later he understands that it is a kidnap done by John Canty. It is a kidnap done by John Canty. Right. Now I have given the note for all the chapter. Go back to the book. A longer purse would have got a better sort. Longer purse means much money. If you have much money, now Hendon thinks of his purchase, these clothes, better sort, good clothing. But when one has not the long purse or short purse, when one does not have much money, he must be content, satisfied. Content means satisfied with the short one, with the short purse or less money. Right. This garment, it is well enough. This is good. Now he evaluates good and badness of these used clothes. Stitch here and another one there will set it. The stitch means sewing. A little bit of sewing will set it, will make it all right. This other is better. This one is better, albeit although a stitch or two will not come amiss in it. There are no torn places. Missing. Likewise, these be goods. Now, these means here shoes. He has bought some pair of shoes for the prince because he's barefooted. He has no shoes. These are very good and sound and will keep his small feet warm and dry. An odd new thing. Now, Hendon thinks shoes are odd, unusual thing. Hendon thinks that the prince has never used shoes. Never used shoes. Therefore, these shoes will be odd, very unusual for this boy, be like, since he has doubtless been used to foot it bare. Foot it bare means without shoes. He has used to keep the feet without shoes. To foot it bare means uh, without shoes. Winters and summers, during the winter and the summer. If thread are bread, now Hendon says, if the thread of these clothes are bread, one can get a year's sufficiency. One can buy bread for a year, for a farthing. Now Hendon has spent a farthing for these clothes. Hendon thinks, I could have bought bread for my year's need if I spend that money. And also such a brave big needle. Brave big needle means I have to do some sewing, mending, sewing the cloth without a cost, without charging any money, for mere love. I will do all these things because of my love for this boy. Now I shall have the demon's own work. The demon's own work means hard work. Now I have some hard work to thread it. Thread means to sew it with a needle. To sew it with a needle. Now Hendon himself is going to mend, prepare or sew the torn clothes for the prince. This is his sacrifice for this young boy. Okay. After that, he goes to the boy, the prince, with new clothes. Okay. I will discuss this part of the chapter in our next class. You can also read it now because I have given you the note. Comment. You know the story now. Right. We take some time to read it. Okay, we'll do it in our next session.